way back when. We're in the game.
Yeah. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid. And everybody say, when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid. And everybody say, when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid.
What's going on, baby? You are tuned into the Way Back When podcast, a reflection upon the golden era, our golden era. All right. And at this very moment in time, you know what I'm saying? You are tuned into, I already said tuned into, so I'll say it again one more time for the third time. Treyway, you know what I'm talking about? You are tuned into one of the best, nostalgic, dopest voices in the land, in podcast land. Okay, y'all already know who it is. It's that boy Young Dizzle Stacks in the building. You feel me? And as I always do, you know what I'm saying, I got my co-host, you know what I'm saying, my road dog with me, you know what I'm saying, touching down from H-Time, you know what I'm talking about.
I feel like I have to say, allow myself to introduce myself since you went to say tuned in twice. It's Money B, dog. What's up?
What did you see? I didn't get the whole story of it, but what's the name? Deshaun for the Eagles, the receiver.
Oh, Deshaun Jackson?
Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah. He
had to apologize, I guess some anti-Semitic shit that he had said or posted or something.
Yeah.
I didn't see the whole thing, but supposedly he said, I want to apologize on behalf of myself.
Yeah.
What nigga?
Yeah, that's a good line.
Nigga said, I want to apologize on behalf of myself. See, we might have to steal that one here. I might have to steal that one from the intro because that's a horrid nigga line.
That actually sounds like a good podcast title, dude, or something like or album title or something.
Absolutely. So yeah, Wodies, what's going down with y'all, man? Thank you for tuning in for another week of the Way Back When podcast. We appreciate you. Y'all are the dopest fans out. Continue to spread the word. Continue to vote on those dimies. We will get to that a little bit later on. But I had to address y'all's greatness right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all are just the dopest. I mean, there's no other way to put it. So yeah. Money B, what's going down, my friend? How's everything been? How's the weekend and all that?
Hot dog. Fuck, man, it's been steaming, really beaming out here, dude.
It's picante, papa.
Yeah, it is. The weekend was good though. Had some family come up. Shout out to that boy White Honk.
White Honk.
Kind of bittersweet. Had a memorial service for my aunt, so they came up. But we kicked it a little bit. Watched the fights. Watched the snooze fest of a fight. But hey, it was live sport, so I'll take it.
Hell yeah, Fight Island and shit.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty dope idea. The shirts are pretty nice. You seen them shirts?
No, I haven't actually.
Yeah, they got some pretty cool shirts.
Okay, all right. Sweet teas.
Yeah, I know the sweet teas. I'm a connoisseur of sweet teas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, sir. But yeah, all in all, man, I mean, it was a good weekend, man. Then, kind of hung out at the house with the fam, barbecue. Like I said, watched the fights, and then Sunday kind of just relaxed and, did the family thing, man.
Yeah, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up. That's good shit. Not too much on my end. Shit worked. That's pretty much it, dog. You know what I'm saying? Just work, continue to work on some projects and whatnot. And shit, that's it. I'm struggling a little bit right now. I feel a little violated right now. As you mentioned, it's very hot outside right now. And well, let's just say unfortunately, I know how Tiana Trump feels.
What's that?
I don't. It's a little traumatizing, but like I said, it's hot, and and my lawn right now, it's a little brown. You know what I'm saying? It's not as green as I would like it to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be on my lawn of the year type shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing just doing grown up things. You know what I'm saying? And so I got my sprinkler set up outside, and I like to do things the hard way. I'm that person. I'm that dude. I don't like to. I could do things the easier way. I know I can do things the easier way, but I'm just hard headed, and I like to do things the hard way. And so I had my sprinklers, going outside, and I decided to move them to a different spot. You know what I'm saying? To hit the spot of the yard and whatnot. And I could have just turned off the sprinklers, then went and moved them. Turned off the faucet, then went and moved the sprinklers where I want to set it up.
No, that's not how you do it.
And but I was, I was being myself. You know what I'm saying? And I went on ahead and moved them while they were still spraying, and it skeeted in my eye, dog. Sprinkler skeeted straight in my face, dog. Just straight violated me, dog.
Damn, dog.
So as you're talking to me right now, Wodies, as you're listening to this right now, just know that I just received the facial. Like, I just got skeeted on.
Yeah, basically.
So, yeah, I'm dealing with that right now. I'm not all there. I'm still dealing with some internal drama and trauma.
Well, I think I would have liked to see the reaction, or I would not have liked to see the reaction. Because it would have been different if, like, you reacted by just, like, opening your mouth and just kind of, like,
Well, because that's the thing. It's a hot day. So, you get a part of your face, you might as well get the rest right.
and there ain't no better water in from the water hose.
Exactly. That's what's got the good nutrients, good mercury poisoning and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, man. That's boosted up. They should do some research to see if you drank from the water hose, if you're immune to corona.
I would believe it. I would believe it.
Yeah, I drank from a lot of weird stuff. So that sounded weird, but
I don't know what's weirder, that what you just said, or me getting skeeted on by my system.
now if you threw the sprinkler down, it's like, man, get the fuck off me, dog. Like some shit like that. Like, all right, fuck out of here with that shit.
Well, I need to go back and check, because I think my neighbor had pulled up too as I was doing that. So he's probably just watching me like, oh damn, that boy just got skeeted on, and then watch me take it all graciously and whatnot, and now he's probably having second thoughts about me. Or
why is he rubbing his chest like that?
Or I mean, I don't know that boy's sexual preference. He might have got a little turned on. I might have to watch my back out here in these streets.
That's true. That's true. He could be out there with the water hose as we speak, watering your lawn.
Shit. Hey, he can. Hey, shit. I'm not trying to go out there and say he can water that shit all he want, dog. Shit.
Man, dude, I pay somebody to come do my lawn, which I only do it because I don't really have the time because of work. I never in my life thought I would do that shit. I'm surprised my dad hasn't disowned me by now for paying somebody to do my yard.
Yeah.
But when I moved here, you know how my work schedule is. I was like, man, I don't have time, and this grass is fucking growing quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I pay somebody, monthly to come do this shit, and they come every week. Well, with the family coming over and stuff, and I rented the girls one of the big water slides.
Yeah.
They usually show up on Friday, so I was like, bet. All right, the grass in the back was already high from one week to the next, and I was like, all right, bet. Well, he'll be here Friday, cut it. Water slide guy will be here Saturday. Ain't got nothing to worry about, right? I get to get drunk and wake up late and chill.
Right.
Fuck no, man. He didn't come Friday. So the water slide guy hits me up and say, hey, I'll be there in an hour. Make sure the area is ready. And I was like, I look outside, the area wasn't ready, though. So I go out there at fucking 10 in the morning after driving back from Victoria at like fucking 5 in the morning from chilling with Mr. Jeeves. And, we got some liquid crack in us. And I was like, damn, man, I was just hungover, tired. It was hot as shit.
Yeah.
And I'm out there pushing my lawnmower. Like, I'm just pissed. I'm not pissed that I'm pushing the lawnmower. Like, I really like cutting grass and shit when I have the time to, like, do it right. I was pissed that I paid and I still had to do the fucking work.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It was hot as shit.
It's
and
the
I was
principle.
hungover.
It's the principle. Dude. It's principality.
And then he hit me up right after. Dude, I finished. Literally right after I finished, and we need the back. My lawn guy hits me up. He's like, "Hey, man, I'm on your way." And I was like, "You fuck, man." I was like, "Hey, just skip it, man. Just skip this week. Don't worry about it."
I told that boy I need 2 free cuts, cuz.
Yeah, basically, man. I was pissed, dude.
Oh shit. Now that boy Dizzle made a rookie mistake. Phone's off during the podcast. that boy Dub J's hitting me up. I hit you back after the episode, Dub. After we get to record.
For as much as we drink and talk on here, we haven't had that many phones go off.
Yeah.
I think we've been all right on that.
I mean, well, normally I have my phone on silent, but like you just heard, I forgot this time. But oh well.
Hey, play us fuck up.
Play us fuck up from time to time.
Yeah.
Patter. Oh shit. All right, well, good shit. Let's pass on through the trauma that we've just went through, and let's get on into some of that good old way back when news, dog. Break us off.
I got you, man.
And now, way back when news with Money B.
I got you, dog. All right, let's start with the birthdays. Not too many, man. Wasn't a lot this week. Happy birthday to 50 Cent on July the 6th.
Hell yeah.
How big of a deal he was and how he still is. You see that video of him fighting the other day?
No, man. I've been slacking on my social media game.
Oh,
I hear about all this stuff, but I haven't been like actually like watching the videos and shit.
Yeah, he was throwing chairs at somebody or some shit the other day. It was some crazy shit. And of course, him talking shit to T.I. and fucking Will Smith.
Oh yeah,
he's on everybody, dog. You can't fuck with 50. He's on everybody's ass. He's gonna find shit on you. He's gonna. Yeah,
you got to tread lightly around that motherfucker, dog.
Yeah, fuck this shit. All right, July the 9th, we got a few. Happy birthday to Tom Hanks. He had the big movies back in our day.
Yeah,
happy birthday to Orenthal.
Oh, the juice.
Hey, oh man, his Twitter's fucking funny, man. It's hilarious just how he starts it off. And the shit he talks about on there and the way he talks. But the main thing is going to the comments and people just fucking kill him. No pun intended, but they fucking kill him in his comments.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious, dude.
Speaking of the juice, did you see did we talk about it on here? But I think they just released like the pictures of the hype video of the new Broncos.
The Broncos, yeah, the most clean.
Yeah, I feel like we talked about it a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I think we touched on it. We touched on it a little bit. But yeah, them bitches are nice.
Hell yeah.
July 9th, happy birthday to Courtney Love. If y'all remember her. Wife of Kurt Cobain, probably killed him.
Yeah, I mean, I vaguely of course I know her, but I knew is like she was like in a rock band, but I could, and of course that she was married to Kurt Cobain, but I couldn't tell you like one Courtney Love song. You know what I'm saying? She was just.
Oh man, I know her band name was Hole. I think. Other than that, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, there you go. I just remember like they would always like cap on her for like just being fucked up on the red carpet and shit, like just looking shit faced.
Yeah, bad.
Like who would be today's like Courtney Love?
Oh fuck, dude. I don't feel like the musicians now are like how they are though.
Right?
Like they might do it for acts, but these motherfuckers were really rock stars. Like they were really fucked up.
They were really getting it in.
Yeah. I can't even think of a chick that even acts like that. They all have like.
That's what I'm saying.
They all
like
want to be like Instagram models and shit.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Woadies, if y'all could think of who would be today's like Courtney Love or I don't know, maybe like Anna Nicole Smith or someone like that. I mean, hit us up. Tell us what y'all think.
Yeah, that'd be a good one because I can't think of nothing off the top of my head.
Yeah, me either.
Let's see. Here's a good one. July 11th. 1974. Happy birthday to Lil Kim.
Oh, hell yeah! I did remember seeing that.
Yeah.
I was listening. Ironically, like the day before, I was listening to that. I got no time for fake ones.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That motherfucker jams, dog. She fucking wrecks that bitch, bro.
What's that other? There was another song she had, like in the video, she was like in all different colors. You remember that song?
In all different colors.
Yeah, it was with Lil C's, I think.
Oh yeah. What video was that? What song is that?
Oh, I don't remember. He's a hustler. He's a freak. I got a different girl every day of the week.
Yeah.
I know how the song goes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Crush on You.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Dun-dun,
yeah, that song goes hard.
dun-dun,
Yep.
dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. Hey, yeah, that's the jammer right there, dog. And then what else you
That
got?
video went hard.
Got the jump off. This is
Oh, yep.
In the Hummer in the Benz, Escalade 23-inch rims. That bitch. And then don't forget when she came on the God Ray J song. Oh, wait a minute. Oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. Wait a minute. Hey.
Yeah, that's right. She was on a couple other. Whenever they had the like the P Diddy and the Family albums and shit like that, she had some shit on hers.
Yeah.
On there, I remember them.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's
they
go.
showed her in and man, when she was in You Got Served, she looked good as hell, bro.
Oh yeah.
She had her cameo in You Got Served.
Yep, and of course she had that classic poster, dog. Everybody had it.
Goodness.
Yep.
See, I wasn't even gonna bring that up, but oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Hoofale.
Let's keep it moving, dog.
Shout out to the Queen Bee.
July 7, 1998, Noriega released his debut album.
Okay.
N-O-R-E.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
On Twitter, he was, who was he talking shit to? Was somebody talking shit to him?
Yes. He was talking to somebody.
Yeah.
And golly. Was it 50? Was him and 50 going back and forth? I think it was like kind of jokingly.
Yeah, I think so.
But it was funny.
Was him, and then Lil Duval was clowning on him because
Lil Duval, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Lil Duval's going to. I just love that what like best intro to a song ever.
And then the chick in the background was singing what too?
What? That's the whole nigga intro to a song.
Yeah.
And the beat is ridiculous. Like the Neptune's beat. So yeah, dog. That might be the best intro to a song ever, dog.
I wonder how many what's there is.
I'm gonna go out on a limb just with a guess and say 63, just in that opening, that intro.
I'm going to say 75,000. I'm going to round up.
What's the over-under?
Yeah. That's a good question to pose. That's a poll to put.
That's a poll we're going to put. Yeah, you know what? Here we go. I just got an idea. We can poke holes in it after the show. But I feel like giving away some sweet shirts.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. So we're tune into the Way Back When Instagram account. We're gonna post some Way Back When questions on there, and whoever gets them right or comes closest to getting it right, we're gonna give away some T-shirts. How about that?
Yeah, there we go. That sounds good.
Let's do that.
Hell yeah, that works. This works. Let's go. July 12th, 2005. Grand Hustle Records released the soundtrack to Hustle and Flow. That boy DJ, man.
No, man.
I didn't know it was under Grand Hustle.
I didn't either. It feels like it would be under Hypnotized Minds, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, no shit. That's what I thought.
Damn. That's crazy.
Either that or under Pimp Skinnies.
Dog, I just almost spit on the fucking laptop. Oh shit. Oh,
But yeah,
man.
that was I don't know what came first, the movie or the soundtrack, but either way, they fucking both went hard. Whoop
Yeah.
that trick. Whoop
In this
that
game,
trick.
I done did some crazy things in these streets. Shout out to Lou, who does not like that song. Like, he's the only person I know that does not like, it's hard out here for a pimp.
God
You
damn.
trying to get the money for the rent. Push that shit out, man. No, man. You got to sing that shit, man.
I might watch that shit later, dude. I forgot how good that movie is. All right, let's go. July 8th, 2010. Just on the cusp
Okay.
of, way back when news. LeBron and the decision.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a huge deal.
It's hard to believe that was 10 years ago.
I know, man.
That's wild.
Fucking crazy. And what's even crazier is like he's still balling like the way he is too.
Yeah, he's still like one of the best in the game, like top 5 in the game.
Yes, sir. But I just recently watched the 30 for 30 on that or whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
They had on ESPN on that, and that was the backstory on all that shit is crazy.
Yeah.
And to see how it all played out, and then for him to go back to Cleveland,
win the chip.
Crazy. Yep. Oh shit! I missed the birthday. It won't be. It's not. I'll say it's going to be way back with news, but it's going to be. Happy birthday today, Conor McGregor. So we know in a few years, him and that Mayweather fight and just all the things he's done for fighting. That's going to be fucking.
His crazy knockouts and matches
and
shit. Yeah.
That whole tour that he had with Mayweather, that press conference tour, just damn press conference looked like a damn concert.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't think that might not never happen again unless it's like somebody huge, like fucking, Canelo fighting somebody in the UFC or some shit,
Right, yeah.
Let's see. All right, got July the 12th. Take a little step back here, and I bring it up because of some shit that happened recently. July 12th. 1976, the Family Feud debuted on ABC.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right.
So, did you see the clip of Bruce Smith on Family Feud?
No.
I don't know when it was aired, but it was taped. So, you know how Steve Harvey's the host now, right?
Yeah.
And he's always fucking clowning somebody or just the way he reacts to some of the people's questions.
Yeah.
So they had like an NFL, like Hall of Fame against, like Bruce Smith, Michael Irvin, who else was it? Chris Carter, like a bunch of NFL players.
Yeah.
So Bruce Smith, played for the Buffalo Bills, all-time sack leader, I think, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so his question was, if a handyman could switch out one of his hands for a permanent tool, what would it be? And the first answer he said was hammer. And that was and Steve Harvey that's already on the board. You know how that works, right?
You're right, yeah.
The next answer he said, he goes, penis. but they didn't the buzzer didn't go off to say like the new answer. So Steve Harvey just kept reading the next question and he was like, at what age is it? And he goes, what the fuck did he say? So fucking funny, dude. It's so fucking funny. You gotta watch that clip.
See,
because think about it.
Because what I was gonna say, honestly, I was gonna say dildo. Whenever you first read it out, I was like, dildo, let's go. So maybe me and Bruce Smith are both mentally challenged.
Maybe.
Because you got to remember, like, he's a football player for one.
Yeah, he is.
They're not known for being the most intellectual people on this earth.
That's true.
But then he's taking a lot of hits. So
that's true.
You know that that CTE is fucking eating his ass up right now. So.
Well, that was your excuse, dog. It's because you didn't get hit in the head a lot in baseball, I don't think.
That's the sad part for me because I have no excuse.
You got that water hose on your mind. That's what it is. That's what it is.
No, so I didn't see that shit, but I saw the Michael Irvin clip. Did you see the Michael Irvin clip?
Oh yeah, that's good.
When he got the shit right and he started doing his like touchdown dances and shit and whooping around and
you
shit.
gotta expect he had some fucking wild answers too that they couldn't even air probably.
Oh yeah.
The
Cocaine.
thing is, they set them motherfuckers up. They set them up so like you know.
I would not be surprised if Michael Irvin answered cocaine at least 6 times.
At least 6 times, yeah.
To different questions, like
what
is a household cleaning substance that most people use? Cocaine.
Yeah. Oh shit, man! But that dude, you have to watch that clip. It's so fucking funny because he just says it like fucking just right off the top of the head, dude. Fucking
I mean, but no, think about it. No, think about it. Damn it! Hold on, I'm not dying on this hill. Think about it. All right, we're getting a little up there in age, okay?
Yeah.
You just made tender, sweet, hot, sexy sex to your significant other, right? And she loved it so much that she wants round 2.
Yeah.
Okay. We're not young like we used to be. Like, you know, right now for a round 2 for me, you know what I'm saying? I need a 30-minute halftime, lemon lime Gatorade, you know what I'm saying? And I need to do some push-ups again. You know what I'm saying?
Push-ups, maybe a nice Hennessy real quick.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? But she, you know, she's in the mood. She's still in the mood.
Yeah.
You just pull out your dildo hand that you got and you just go to work. just go to work. Just go to work.
Beat it up.
Just go to work, okay? And that way you can just chill. You know, it's everybody wins.
It ain't, man. Yeah, I mean, sounds like a good plan.
See, we're not the ones. We're not the ones that are struggling here mentally. It's everybody else who doesn't know how to catch up outside of the box. We're living in 20. We're living in 2030. Y'all are still in 2010. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't even made it up to 2020 yet. You know what I'm saying? Y'all
2020 sucks. When you get up here, it sucks.
Yeah. Y'all come live in 2030 with me and Bruce Smith. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all about the pleasures and the sexual satisfactions of our women's. Okay. All right. We're making sure that our women's leave us satisfied with everything that we've given them. You feel me? PSA. Dizzle for that's when I run for president. That's gonna be the platform that I run on. Dizzle for female orgasms, 2024.
Hell yeah, sign me up, dog. That shit was so fucking funny, dude. God damn. Oh man, I got let's see. I got 2 more. Oh shit, 1 more. Let's go. Let me take my Euro step, dog.
All right.
July 13th, 1568.
Damn it, boy.
The Dean of St. Paul's London Church, Alexander Noel, perfects a way to bottle beer. Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
So
thank you to that man.
The story goes, he used to like to fish. Well, he went fishing one day. Decided, like any good fisherman, I'm gonna drink some beer.
Right.
Stops off at the pub, gets a glass bottle full of ale, takes it, goes fishing, drink a little bit, leaves the bottle there with the top on, like a little cork top on it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that he just had around. I don't know. Either way, he left it there. Came back a few days later, and his description was he left a bottle, but came back to a gun. So all the heat and fermentation, you know, when he opened it, popped off.
Oh shit, yeah.
But that kind of ensued with like progressing the fermentation of beer and all that shit. They figured that out.
Yeah.
So he's kind of, I guess, the godfather of bottled beer.
Yeah, great moment in history. Today should be a holiday for that shit.
No shit, right?
Today should be a holiday, man. Thank you to that guy right there who just fucking loved beer as we all do. Hell
yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's a friend of the podcast. If he ever resurrects himself or wants to come on us, bring some beer, buddy.
Hell yeah. Good
All
shit.
right, one last thing on the little crazy laws, crazy note,
Okay, yeah, hit us with it.
This is probably fucking prevalent down there in Victoria pretty well. And also in Nebraska. You can't get married if you have a venereal disease in Nebraska.
Oh, it's definitely prevalent in Victoria.
Leave on that.
Yeah. That's all I got to say about that. It's definitely prevalent down here in Victoria.
Well, fuck. Just looking at the fucking COVID numbers down there.
Shit, bro. Number one, baby.
Number one county. God,
number one, baby. Number one in the nation.
That's what COVID, dog. That's what COVID. You don't really even get no pleasure. I mean, that could lead to some pleasure. That's probably how it happened. But look how fast that shit spread.
Like, you should have seen these motherfuckers, like, when shit opened back up down here a few weeks ago. Like, these motherfuckers were running wild. They were running the streets wild. Like, luckily, I was still working and shit. So it wasn't like I could do anything. I could go out or anything. But I was just, like, watching people's snaps and on Instagram and everything.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't no telling, like, what they fucking did when the cameras were off, because they were wilding the hell out, bro.
Yeah.
Wilding the hell out.
So, yeah. If they go to Nebraska, they can't get married.
Good shit, dog. All right, peoples. It's time for a Dimiest of Dimes update, WWE Divas edition. Okay. So for the first round, the first matchup that we had, the Wodies and the Dozens have spoken. Okay. And in the Sable versus China matchup, of course, as we all knew would happen, Sable came out on top of that one. But in the Deborah, the 2 versus 3 seed, Deborah versus Victoria, Deborah being the 2 seed, and Victoria being the 3 seed, Victoria pulls off the upset, coming out on top, beating out Deborah.
Damn, okay, that's both of mine that lost, man.
Mm-hmm.
China, I was just banking on the freak abilities of the Wodies to, see past. Say, even though I picked her, I was like, man, maybe there's some freaks in there like China. She
got a couple of votes. She won
multiple awards.
Yeah.
Multiple AVN awards, and apparently our boy, fucking great friend of the podcast, Mr. Jeeves, had or has a copy of One Night in China. Also, Sluts Illustrated 8, if you're looking for it. And I figured, he's like, yeah, I heard it. He goes, y'all know I have that, right? And I was like, what? So we might be having a private screening. I say we put a projector up at your house, like in the backyard.
That's what I was about to say. He probably has it like on the film reel.
So yeah, this motherfucker actually has it, or he's been in possession of it. So I never even knew anything about it to that. But yeah, damn.
Shout out to Mr. G.
The other one though. But what an upset on Deborah, dude. How did they just the puppies, dog? Like
the puppies. I don't know. Dog. I don't know, bro. I don't know. But you know what may have played into it is Victoria has some flicks.
Oh, that's right. That's right, dude.
That may have played into it. So
yeah, true.
I don't know. Shout out to the Dozen. Shout out to the Wodies for voting. Here we go. This week.
Good one.
This week we're going to the Derek region of the bracket. Okay. We got Derek's number 1 seed. All right. From Let Me Tell You Why You're Wrong. We got Derek's number 1 seed, Lita, versus EJ's number 4 seed, Layla. Okay. So Money B, what do you got?
Man, dude. Lita's bad. Lita was bad. And you got to give her credit for getting tossed up in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
Got to give her credit for that.
Yeah, most definitely.
And the tramp stamp. Got to give her credit for that. Or, what do you call it? The whale tail. The whale tail. Not bad. But upon further review, Layla's bad, dog. I'm not, because I haven't watched wrestling in a good little while.
Yeah.
But man, dude, I'm gonna have to go with the upset on this one.
Really?
Yeah, man. I always thought. Lita was hot. I always thought she was hot, but I don't know. I'm just leaning towards Layla on this one, man. Upon further review, and we on the research we just did before we started.
Right.
Kind of swayed it.
So that's what I was gonna get into. So we're both a little bit in the same boat here. I don't watch. Yeah. I haven't watched wrestling in a while, and so I wasn't that familiar with Layla. So I had to go back and do some research, just as you did, and Lita's a legend, man. Lita's a legend. She's done a lot. I think she's probably inspired a majority of the chicks that are in the WWE right now. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And she was a badass, dog. She was a badass in the ring. Like, I don't know like how this Layla chick was in the ring, but Lita was a badass, dog. That being said, I was never a big fan of Lita, to tell you the truth.
See, yeah.
I was never a big Lita fan, to tell you the truth. So, with that being said, we're both going upset. Way back when. It's going with the upset on this one. Layla times 2, 4 seed over 1 seed. If we can pull this off, this is like Duke getting beat in the first round of the tournament by like East Western Central Illinois State.
Yeah, the Mud Dogs.
Yeah, by the Mud Dogs and shit.
Tech.
Yeah. So there we go. There we go. We got Layla for the upset in the first matchup. And here we go. So the second matchup, we got the number 2 seed. This is EJ's pick, Candice Michelle versus Derek's stout number 3 pick and Nikki Bella. Okay?
Stout.
Candice Michelle versus Nikki Bella. So who do you got in this one?
Man, dude. I'm really not too familiar with both of these. I'm more familiar with Nikki Bella from like her other stuff other than wrestling.
Yeah.
Candice Michelle, not familiar at all, though. Not familiar at all. But did a little research before the show.
Mm-hmm.
Got a good look-see.
Okay.
And I think I'm going Nikki Bella.
Okay. Yeah. Same with me, man. Not too familiar with Candice Michelle. Of course, familiar with Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella's a sleeper, man. I mean, how she crept down to the number 3 seed, I don't know. Huh?
Whose pick was that?
Derek's.
Derek's, man. How did he get? Yeah, that's for real.
Yeah, how she made it down to a number 3 seed, I don't know. But I definitely see her coming out on top of this one. Candice Michelle ain't kicking out of this one. I'm going with Nikki Bella as well, dog.
Oh, for the 3 count.
Yeah, most definitely. So there we go. Wody, same as last week. The post will be up on Friday. All right, y'all go in there, y'all vote. You know what I'm saying? Put y'all's votes in. Same with y'all. Dozens who have crossed over and became Wodies as well. So
hopefully so.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that,
I'm excited to hear what them boys got to say.
Oh yeah, I mean, they had some good reasoning behind their picks last week.
Yeah,
so it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, Wodies, we are to the most important part of this podcast. Mm-hmm. The moment that y'all have been waiting for.
Get them ready.
Get those veins ready right now. Get them good and juicy for us. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all got.
I might even go in the neck in this one. I might even go in the neck on this one.
Oh, shit. Damn it, boy.
Actually, Hold on. Before you get to the fix, on a quick note, have you ever seen the Earl Manigault story? It used to be a show on HBO or a movie on HBO.
No.
So this might have to be something we have to hit up. But long story short, he used to shoot up in his calf muscles.
Really?
So he could jump to the top of the backboard.
Really?
Like we have to go into it, dog. Oh,
yeah.
dude,
I'm gonna have to do my research on that one.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good shit. All right. So yeah, Wodies, get your nurses' best friends ready. All right. Shout out to my nurses out there, my essential nurses that are on the front lines right there dealing with this COVID right now. You know, hopefully y'all are listening to this on y'all's way home. You know what I'm saying? Giving y'all a bright spot in the day and everything.
Mine just left it.
Yeah. Hopefully she's listening to this on her way to work.
No, she hates us.
I was about to say, I highly doubt it.
Yeah, she don't like us.
But yeah, get y'all's nurses' best friends, aka the veins, ready because here comes that fix right now.
Ooh, we're gonna have a lot of fixes.
We're gonna have so many fucking fixes up in this motherfucker. No diggity, no doubt. I like to bang it up. This is fucking wonderful, Holmes.
So this week we're coming to y'all with another topic that we've talked about it. We've touched on it once before, and man, this has been one of my favorite ones to look at. I mean, this is it's like the epitome of this show. Like the great part about doing this is just being able to go back and do your research on certain things from your golden era, man. And like I got so much just peace and tranquility and just nostalgia and just happiness from watching all this stuff and looking this stuff up, man. And yeah, it's like I said, it's been one of my favorites so far. So this week, without further ado, this week we're coming back to y'all with some classic video games from way back when. All right. Money B, go ahead and start us off, dog. Which one you gonna roll with
start
first?
Us off. Let me see. I'm gonna go off on the I guess the one we have separate. So we'll tie it in at the end.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go off on, I don't know if you remember this, Sega CD. There was a game called Sewer Sharks. You might be before your time.
No clue.
All right. So Sega Genesis, right? When it first came out, everybody was, Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. So there wasn't PlayStation yet. But Sega came up with this idea to like integrate, I guess, movie clips into the games. So it was on a CD-ROM. So it had like you had your console, and then you had a whole nother console that you sat your Genesis on top of that connected, and then you had to put a CD into that other fucking console, dude. It's a weird setup. So your fucking game was like, I don't know, probably about 1.5 feet long. It just like, it was just a weird setup. Either way, they had a game on there called Sewer Sharks. So the whole concept of the game was like, it was like a post-apocalyptic type thing, and there was these mutants in the sewer, mutant rats and bats and all kinds of creatures.
Yeah.
Well, you worked for like this, I don't know if it was a government company or like, I just remember it was like a sewer cleaning company. And you would start playing, and you were like in a little, man, I don't even know how to put it, almost like a little subway car. And it was like a shooter game, basically. But in between the games, like it would stop, and it was so badass because we'd never seen nothing like this shit. We were used to 8-bit, fucking Genesis, I think, was 16-bit.
Yeah.
So it was getting a little bit better, but it would stop in the middle of the game, and it would be like a movie scene, which is kind of normal now. But dude, at that time of that shit, It was fucking, you were like, oh shit, like damn. And the game almost played like a computer game because it looked, you were basically playing a CD-ROM.
Yeah.
So it looked like a fucking movie, like, but it was just shit. It was a shitty fucking game, but it was just weird, like technology at the time. And we didn't, man, we could barely afford the damn Genesis. So whenever like we would go to like one of the movie places, like Movie Shop or whatever. And you just like, oh damn, they got the Sega CD. And we'd beg our fucking mom to rent it, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, you gotta leave like $100 deposit or some shit like that," you know? Dog,
hold on. Before you keep going, for everybody, Movie Shop was a place in Victoria that was basically like a bootleg Blockbuster video. So
yeah, like a mom and pop
Blockbuster where you can go and rent movies and rent video games at.
And flicks. You go behind there if you're lucky.
Yes, they had a flick section.
Go behind the beaded curtain.
Yes.
If you're lucky. And rent wrestling videos, movies, Faces of Death. You remember Faces of Death?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to be trying to sneak in that flick section, crawling on my stomach like I was in Vietnam and shit.
Yeah, trying to catch a nipple. But so like we walked out of there, there's like a bag. We were lucky to get it one time, dude. One time we walked out of there, oh shit, we got the Sega CD. We're gonna play this shit all weekend, right? That game fucking sucked, dude. It was just looked wild. Just the whole concept of it, but we're so hyped about it. I don't remember any other game off of that.
Yeah.
But it was like they gave it a 6 out of a 10, which was pretty cool, I guess. But it just sucked. Like it didn't take off. Sega CD didn't fucking take off. I don't remember anything else about it.
Right, yeah.
It was just weird. They sold a lot, but it came with like the system at the time was like fucking almost $300 for like the whole setup. And at that time, man,
damn, that's a lot of fucking money.
For that.
Yeah, that's like half of what the PlayStation is going to cost this time around, right? Like the new PlayStation.
Yeah.
So you got to think back then, like, yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, but they were trying to sell it off on the whole graphics part of it, which that part was badass. You were like literally in a movie. It was pretty cool. It just the whole gameplay of it sucked. But I just remember the whole weekend was like, oh, dude, we're gonna fucking. We didn't move, dude. Like usually, we're outside playing. When you're young, you play all the fucking day, whatever season it was. Football, baseball, basketball, come home later, play video games.
Yeah.
That whole weekend, we just stuck on that thing because we knew we were never seeing that again. We were never getting that system again.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's what's up. That's good shit. That's good shit. Yeah, I have no clue what the hell you just talked about. To tell you the truth. I don't remember.
I have to send you a picture.
Yeah.
It had to be like fucking, man.
But
I was younger, so it was like early 90s, probably mid 90s.
But again, I think I mentioned it on the last time we talked about video games. Like, I was never, I guess I'll get into it here in a second too. Like, my first console was a PlayStation, so that just puts things into perspective for me. Like, PlayStation was besides the Xbox, that was like, that shit came late. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's late 90s. You know what I'm saying? And video games had been out. Like at least systems had been out since the late 80s and shit.
Late 80s, yeah. So this was before. This was like a few years before PlayStation for sure.
I should say like major like gaming systems because like I think they had like Atari and shit like late. I mean,
nobody fucking with that.
Early 80s, late 70s and shit. But you know what I'm saying. But like major like game systems were
just when the jump off of Nintendo basically.
Yeah,
is where
exactly.
I found it. I'm a gamer, but not like that.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but it was. So I want to say, Genesis was still doing the cartridges. So you still had to put the cartridge on top of the game.
Yeah.
So when they came out with that Sega CD, it was like right before PlayStation. So it was kind of like a big fucking deal. Like, oh shit, it's not a cartridge no more.
Oh, okay. So they basically like trying to beat PlayStation to the punch.
Yeah, and it fucking sucked.
Yeah, got you.
Except for. Well, Sega sucked except for Dreamcast. That bitch went hard.
Sega, the Dreamcast was straight. It had a couple good games. Yeah. It just couldn't fuck with the PlayStation though, dog.
Yep.
Yeah, it couldn't fuck with the PlayStation. So, for my first one, for both of mine today, as I just mentioned, my first gaming system was a PlayStation. I never was able to get a Sega. I never was able to get a Nintendo and everything. I begged my parents for them and everything, and they were never getting me that shit. And so finally for Christmas one year, they finally got me the PlayStation, dog, and I was the jolliest kid in the neighborhood, dog. And and so I got 2 games with my PlayStation, and I'm gonna talk about both of those today. The first one is Crash Bandicoot, and
Oh yeah,
so this game, I mean, it's one of my favorites from way back when, dog. And just going back and doing research and looking up shit about it, and like just going down that memory lane, bro. Like I wanted to go and buy a PlayStation,
yeah.
and the OG PlayStation, and play that shit all over again. Because I remember doing all the moves and everything, like watching the
Yep.
YouTube videos. I remember doing all the moves and some of the levels and shit, man. And it was just so dope, so dope. And just finding out some of the stuff about it, like, made it even doper, dog. So here we go. Let's get into it a little bit. For those of y'all who aren't familiar with Crash Bandicoot, a bandicoot is actually like a real animal or whatever. From like way back in the past, like they found like fossils, like remains of it or whatever, and they named it the Bandicoot. So when they're coming up with this game, the originators are coming up with this game. It was originally called Wally the Wombat. So that's what its name was supposed to be. Gladly they changed it to Crash Bandicoot because that's so much better, especially because nobody knew what the hell a bandicoot was anyways. Like, for all that could have been, it could have been his just last name. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
So you got Crash Bandicoot. Crash was a failed experiment by Dr. Cortex. And I still don't exactly like understand like the intro and shit to all of it. Apparently this crazy mad doctor was making all these bandicoots or some shit, and Crash was a failed experiment, and he got away. And so you have to get through all these levels and then face off with Dr. Cortex at the very end of the game and shit. And so like you're running through an island and shit, going up against going through all these obstacles and facing up against different animals and shit in the jungle and shit. And yeah, so like that was the whole gist of the game. But it was so dope because I remember when the PlayStation first came out, like the graphics were so superior to Sega and Nintendo. And so that's when I was like really happy that my parents didn't buy me that shit at first, because I knew if I would have got like a Nintendo, in 1994, like I wouldn't have got another game system until like 2001. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're
stuck with that,
yeah. I'd have been stuck with that shit, bro, because my pops was not having that shit, dog. So when I got the PlayStation, I was like, oh shit, like I got the best shit out, like literally. And Crash was one of those games that helped kick off all of that with just the graphics and everything. So the guys who created it, their whole thing was like Sega had Sonic the Hedgehog, Nintendo had Super Mario, and they wanted to be the mascot for PlayStation. So like they had their ideas, and they could have went to a couple of different they could have went to Sega, they could have went to Nintendo, they could have went to, I think it was the other one that was up and coming as well, and then you had PlayStation that they knew about, and they're like, well, all those other games are already established on those other consoles, so let's roll with PlayStation and establish ourselves there as the dominant one. And so that's why you couldn't play Crash Bandicoot on Sega and on Nintendo and all that shit, because they want to exclusively be there. You know what I'm saying? Be there with PlayStation. The other interesting part to all this is, in order to get this game made and made how they wanted it, they had to hack the PlayStation. So,
oh shit.
So these dudes, their whole thing was like, whenever going to make games and everything, was like, leave no stone unturned. Like they were gonna like just dive into the details of every little thing to make the game as best as they could. And so, they had their idea of how they wanted shit to be and how they wanted it to look and everything. And I'm not going to be able to explain it because I'm not like a nerd for this shit like this, but there's a video on YouTube where the creator talks about all of this shit, and basically what had happened was, let me break it down in real nigga terms. Basically, the PlayStation console had like a secret or hidden compartment in it where it kind of like stored like more memory or whatever. And so when they were making the game, it only had a certain amount of memory that they could put into it and store into it to make the game or whatever. And they were like, nah, this ain't going to do it. And so they took it apart and then found the shit, you know, like looked into it and found like, oh shit, we got this shit here that we can do the shit exactly how we want it. And so they went and programmed the game to that. And we're able to make the game, tailor the game to their needs and everything. And they ended up having to have like a sit down with PlayStation and like a under the table, like handshake agreement. Like, all right, cool. You don't tell nobody about this. Don't tell nobody about these capabilities, basically, and shit. And so that's why, like, I don't know, like even watching it today, like, yeah, the images are kind of blocky compared to like today's games, of course.
Yeah,
it's like really clear. Like the imaging is really clear on there and shit. And so
that's crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know why they didn't like push it out like that. Like, why wouldn't you pull your full capabilities? It's kind of like so I don't know the other way to put it. It's like, hey, I got this much for you, girl. Oh no, but I'm not gonna give you all of it. I'm gonna keep back like 2.
It's like when it's like when you give her, it's like when you give the girl 2 inches instead of all 3 inches, dog.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I mean, she might fall in love when you give her all 3 inches. She falls in love more than 9 times out of 10. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So maybe that's what they're trying to stay away from. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to have everybody jump on the bandwagon too quick. Just give her just enough. Leave her itching for a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't want them to go too crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Undersell, over deliver. You know what I'm talking about?
There you go. There you go.
So yeah. Wise words for the woadies out there. All right.
Yeah.
Don't give them all 3 inches. Just give them 2, 1.5, 2 inches. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 2.5 on a Henny night. 2.5 on a Henny night.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
That's all they can get though.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot them.
So yeah, man. So they did all this shit. They hacked into the game. Their whole thing was, dude, you got to chill out. You're getting down. So their whole thing is like, if you watch, think about this shit. It's crazy. You got Mario. You got games like Mario. You got games like Donkey Kong. You got games like Sonic, right? Where they're all what they call platform games. And excuse me. And when you're playing them, the view is from the side. They're 2-dimensional. The view is from the side. So they wanted to make a platform game, but make it 3D. And so when you think about it, this is the first 3D platform game where you can view it from the back, where
it is,
running through the jungle and everything, so you can see everything in front of you.
Yeah, that's right.
From right behind them, or like they have levels where Crash is running towards you in the screen, where he's running from the big ass ball and shit.
Yeah.
So they wanted to make the first 3D platform game, and boom, they kicked that shit off. So, dude, that was just looking at all this shit, that was dope. It was one of the first games where the movements of the character, the main character, of course, is Crash. There's not so many more other characters in the game, but the movements aren't so like blocked off. You know what I mean? Where it's just, the characters are moving like robots. Like Crash could, if they needed to, they could have Crash like breakdancing and shit on there if they wanted to make them like that.
So they're like the first one, use that like motion capture shit, probably.
What was that?
That they use like the motion capture, kind of like the green screen.
No
bullshit, maybe.
No, they didn't do it like that. The way he explained it is, and they show it on the screen on the YouTube video, is when they made when they made video games back then, and they had characters, they would make bones or whatever. And so all the bones were just big bones, basically. So you had
big boned.
They're just big boned cartoon characters. And so like you would have like one long bone for the body. You'd have one long bone for like the bicep or the arm.
Yeah.
One long bone for the forearm, and then one bone for the hand, and then however many fingers they wanted to put on it. You know what I mean? They have a bone. One bone for the head, 2 bones for the legs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what they did is they basically just compressed it and broke it down more to where they added more bones in per se. And so it gave the character more flexibility to, move more freely and everything. And even the way they broke that down, like was
I think that's what Hennessy does to me. Shout out to Eddie. We didn't get a sponsorship already, man.
I know,
fucking
shit.
Hennessy,
come on, hen dog.
Hennessy King over here needs a sponsorship.
Hell yeah, we needs that. But yeah, even the way they broke that shit down, like was just wild. And like,
oh yeah,
how they broke down the levels and the stages and shit. They were basically like their stages and their levels were longer than what normal games were, but they had like fewer.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so basically what they were saying was like when you have a CD-ROM, which or a disc or whatever, which PlayStation games came on, you got so much storage on there, and and so what they were saying is like most games, they would only use like a small fraction of the storage on the game, and like maybe like a 16th of the storage on the game. And for each level, they would only use a certain amount of storage for each level. And basically they just they use the same amount of storage for each level, but they made the levels longer and then just used up more of the storage on the game and shit. Yeah. And so that was innovative as well. Like just the whole way this shit came about was just
hell yeah.
Innovative as hell. Like I respect the fuck out of these guys now, just going and doing my research and all this shit. But yeah, so getting out all the geek shit, because like I said, I can't explain it as good as they do. Like just getting into the game, like the game was so dope. Like just running through the jungle with Crash, and you had all the boxes and shit, the different crates. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You had like the checkpoint crates, the spring crates where you can like bounce up and get the fruits and shit. The what do they call it? The Wampa fruits.
The little Wampa, yeah.
Yeah, and then you could collect the masks for the different lives, for the extra lives and shit. Shit, what else, man? They had the puzzle boxes. And even that, they added the puzzle boxes in there because the game was so. Basically, the game had like some dry spots where it was just not too easy, but it was almost like you're just like running through the thing, dodging shit and everything. And so you could get through everything a little bit quicker than you needed to. So they added the puzzle boxes in there just to add another element to the game and shit. So that was pretty cool. I always liked whenever they would make that little noise that oogada boogada.
Yeah.
Like the oogada boogada.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I remember playing it because remember the PlayStation used to came with like the little sample games.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It would be like fucking couple of samples. It'd be like that. You'd be able to play like a level, or you'd be able to like, what was the other one? The Twisted Metal, the little like destruction derby game.
Yeah.
Used to fuck off on that, and they might have like a sample of like a sports game or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
trying to give me a little taste. Give me a little taste.
Yeah, give me a little taste. What it tastes like. But yeah, man, that's Crash, dog. And I mean, it is, of course, is a very successful game, man. Ended up one of the only games that after the first year, it continued to sell like more and more each year. Even if they came out like with a new one, the original one would still sell more and more each year.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. And seventh best selling PlayStation game of all time.
No shit. Didn't they have a cartoon? Like they ran. I want to say they ran a while with that shit. I know they had a bunch of little shit. Like you said, they were trying to push it like Mario for PlayStation.
Right. Yeah.
So I think they had a bunch of shit like that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Good shit.
So, yeah, that's my first one, dog. Crash Bandicoot, baby.
All right, nice. All right, so for my next one, dude, I've had a staple of games. Like I always had a console, whether it be PlayStation, Xbox, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not like, committed to one, this and that. It's just like, I'm gonna buy this one this time or whatever. But I always had fucking Madden. Always had a sports game, not a sports game, a fighting game, whether it be like wrestling or UFC or boxing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Grand Theft Auto and a basketball game. Well, I always had the NBA, like, whether it be NBA 2K or the Live or whatever at the time, because sports fan. But my fucking favorite game of all time, basketball, NCAA 2K8.
Okay.
So
okay.
This was the last college basketball game that 2K made, because they didn't renew the license in 2009, because that's when all the kind of all this shit started happening with players not getting paid, or like they're finally catching on.
Yeah.
This one had Greg Oden on the cover. I don't know if you remember Greg Oden.
I do.
Played at Ohio State.
I do.
LeBron's granddaddy.
I was about to say the 62-year-old, 20-year-old.
Yeah. He was on the cover, and I didn't know it, but like now, because they didn't really they can't use the names, so it was always either just like, I don't remember if it was just numbers on this one, or if I think it was generated names. They might have been generated names at this point.
Yeah, I can't remember on that. I know on March Madness it was numbers.
It was numbers, right? Yeah. I think EA used numbers, and then like 2K used generated names.
Yeah.
Which you could, if you wanted to, you could go in and change everything, but then fuck that, who's doing all that?
Yeah, exactly.
But on this game, it had all like 128 Division I teams, I think, some shit like that.
Yeah.
So you could go to you could like pick Prairie View, you could pick fucking A&M Corpus.
Yeah.
Then you could put them against Duke. Like, it's fucking ridiculous, dog. But they had I didn't even know it until I looked it up earlier. On this game, Steph Curry was still playing. He was on Davidson.
Oh shit.
Derrick Rose was on Memphis.
Yeah.
Kevin Love and Russell Westbrook were on UCLA. James Harden was on Arizona State.
Yeah. And
they have this dude's name in there, but he was a beast in college. Tyler Hansborough.
Oh, okay.
North Carolina. Yeah. Which, if you go back and look, I'm sure you have multiple fucking NBA players on there,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like big name ones now. But, dude, this game was the shit. The gameplay was badass because it was just so smooth. Like, they had it fucking perfect. By this time, 2K already had everything perfected. Like, it was fucking good. Yeah. And then
they were on Live's heels now.
Oh, I think they had surpassed them by this point, dude.
Think so?
Surpassed them by this point. Oh yeah, definitely, dude. I want to say about like fucking what is it? 2K, the one with Iverson, like the 2K2, 2K3s, they'd already passed them.
Nah, I don't think that early, dog.
Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I think so. Man. You just didn't know it yet. You just know it. I've been playing 2K since they had it on Dreamcast, dude. So
yeah, absolutely.
Like there was other shit you could do, like Live could do, and then once the graphics started catching up, like, oh fuck yeah.
Well, see, I liked the original 2K football more than I liked Madden.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! The one with Randy Moss.
That one, but the one with T.O.
Oh yep, the ESPN one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was ESPN, right? Yeah.
That's what it was. Well, they had the same thing. I think in 2005 it was ESPN college basketball, which that one was. I was going to go with that one because there's so many badass features on there.
Yeah.
But this one, dude, you could customize so much shit, and then you could do a fucking 40-year franchise. But so your whole thing was you start at fucking say Nicholls State or Lamar or something.
Yeah.
And you gotta it's long as shit, but you got to fucking like recruit some players in,
right?
and you got to kind of work your way up. Then you go from Lamar, then maybe you might go to Sam Houston, and then from there you might go to like Baylor, a smaller D1. You're trying to work your way up to like the UNC and fucking the big dogs,
Yeah.
But fucking 40 years. But
who's gonna play 40 years worth of video game, dog?
Dog, you know what? I played 20 years of Madden under the last one without even knowing, because I just fucking simulated a bunch, and I was like, I'll just do the playoffs,
Oh, okay.
Not actually playing every game.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I mean, maybe during quarantine, maybe you might, but on this one, you could fucking. I mean, college the season was only like 20 games anyway. Then when you already start tournaments. But it was so fun because it's not like, the NBA. You're playing a series. If you do it right, you're playing the series in the playoffs. Yeah. It's like you're fucking, all right, I'm fucking Prairie View A&M and I'm playing fucking Kentucky in the first round of the tournament.
Yeah.
It was such a challenge. And not even having it like on, what would be All-American level. You can just put it on freshman level, but you're fucking playing with you don't even know who the fuck you're playing with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You have no clue who you're playing with.
No idea who you're playing with. And that was the whole fun thing about it, dude. It's just like, man, you might find one player that can shoot. You're like, all right, this dude, I'm just passing to this dude every time.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's it, dude. But they had that. They had they start customizing like your songs. Because I don't know if you remember on Xbox, you used to be able to upload your playlist.
Yep.
Dude, so you could be coming down the court listening to Nuck If You Buck or whatever. Like, dude, it was the shit. It was the shit, man.
That was the cold shit about Xbox, dog.
That was cold.
Do you have Xbox?
I got both of them, but I got an Xbox, whatever, One X or whatever.
Like I mean, like the newest one. Can you still do that shit?
I don't think you can. I haven't tried, but I don't think you can.
That was like one of the dopest parts about Xbox. It's like you can go burn a CD on your computer, make a mixtape on your computer, then go upload it on your Xbox and shit, and then go play your games and just fucking just jam the fuck out while you're playing your game.
I'm gonna try that shit, dude. You know what? I'm gonna try that. Yeah, I bet you can.
I just
have like fuck with it. I got a job and shit now, so I don't have time to sit there and like do all that. But I'm sure I had a job back then too, but
you just didn't give a fuck about it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't give a fuck about this one either. But, nah, just playing. But fucking like the gameplay was so badass, and you, like I said, you could customize that. You customize shoes. You can make your own teams, like your own college. Like it was so badass, dude. And I was kind of like, it sucks that they stopped making college games in general.
Hell yeah!
Because there was so much other things, even football. Even they had that college baseball game, which
hell yeah!
Peter would get down on.
Yeah, that college baseball game was the shit, dog. Damn, that
was the shit. And I remember that's kind of when like online gaming started. I'm sure it started way before then, but that's when I was really like I had the money and was able to get on. Like, oh shit, we're playing somebody in fucking wherever.
Yugoslavia.
Yeah. But yeah, it was so fucking fun, dude. And then just to see like how it just stopped, man. Like it's fucking weird.
Yeah, it sucked, man. Like,
it just sucked, and I literally still have that game somewhere. I have that game somewhere here because that's my favorite fucking game.
Yeah, we need to play that next time I'm in the H.
I need a console. I need an Xbox 360, dog.
Hell yeah.
I brought it up because and it was this year or during quarantine. Some guy, I think on either Vice or BuzzFeed, one of the websites actually was like, because it's the last college basketball game.
Yeah.
So they actually like had this big tournament, with all these online players, local network. You can't do really a big online with that game, but local network, and they had like a whole 64 team tournament since there was no tournament this year.
Yeah.
And the dude tried, he was like, oh, I'm gonna pick, everybody's like, oh, I'm picking fucking I don't know, fucking Cornell or somebody random, like just some shitty team.
Yeah.
And then, the kind of younger guys are like, oh, I'm picking Duke. I'm picking this. It was fucking crazy, man. It's pretty badass how they did it. Same shit with, like, the college football game. NCAA 14. You go online right now and look on fucking Amazon or eBay. That game's selling for $300, dog. Xbox 360, PS2, or PS3, whatever it is, game selling for $300 because that's the last of the college games for now.
That's fucking wild.
Mm-hmm.
But those games are badass, dog. Those games are raw. The college games are always so dope, dog. So dope.
Yeah, you should be able to make fucking your own signs on college football.
Yeah.
Like in the crowd. They would hold the signs up and you can put whatever you wanted on there, dude.
Yeah, who would niggas?
Of course, we'd be like fucking pussy or fucking bitch or
boobies.
Yeah. Wolf tickets is what we always used to put on there.
Oh yeah. Good shit. I said that's definitely a good one. That's definitely a good one.
Yeah.
I'm keeping it in basketball too, man. I don't know if I said it on the last one, but like, sports games are always my favorite games to play because I was always the best at these. Like, I think I talked about like Halo. I wasn't that good at Halo and shit, but like the sports games I was always pretty good at, I guess, because just I understand sports and shit. So back to the PlayStation, man. My second game that my parents got me in this game that I just burned a hole in this game, man, playing it so much. That's NBA Live 96, dog.
Hell yeah.
This is the second NBA Live game to ever come out. The first for PlayStation.
Yep.
Had that boy Big Shaq Dizzle on the cover, you know what I'm saying? And
it had Shaq, or if you had one of the other consoles that had like the tip off. Like it was like a shot of the arena. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. But for the PlayStation, they had the Shaq on the cover, dunking and shit.
For the Magic.
For the Magic, yeah, for the Magic, and yeah, man, it was so dope, man. It was so hip hop, you know what I'm saying? It's like as soon as you put it in and everything started loading up, and you get to the intro screen, the intro video and shit. You know what I'm saying? You got some good jam playing and everything. And I just remember just watching that intro video for the first time. And it's like the best thing that I'd ever seen. Like I was so happy. Like I love my parents to this day just for buying me that PlayStation and Crash Bandicoot and NBA Live 96. Like they can do no wrong in my eyes anymore. Just for this sole reason. I mean, dog, like that intro video, like going back and watching it now, like I still remember like some of the stuff that I was seeing in there. Like I remember like Nick Van Exel doing like the fake, like he was throwing like fake punches and everything, running down the court.
Yeah.
When he was playing with the Lakers and shit, I remember that, and watching Sam Cassell and Robert Horry like celebrating the Rockets winning the championship. They had like clips of that shit and everything. And just because remember, I'm a Houston Rockets fan, and this is when the Rockets just won the championship and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it was just it was so dope, man. It was so dope for me, dog. Just playing it for the first time and like I said, playing the hell out of it. I only played with 3 teams on here. I either played with the Magic because of Shaq, and he's on the cover, so the Magic are gonna be raw regardless, dog.
Yeah.
I played with the Spurs. Everybody knows I hate the Spurs, but I always played with the Spurs because it was so realistic. They had the stadiums and shit, and so it showed the Alamo Dome, and you could see the big ass like drapes in the background on the court and everything. And when I was a kid, so my pops, he's a salesman. That's all I'll throw out there. He's a salesman, and so back in the day, he could take clients out on like trips and shit, and the company would give him money to go and take clients out on trips and shit. And so like we would go to Spurs games because he would call on a lot of clients in San Antonio. And so like I went to a shit ton of Spurs games when I was a kid and shit. And so like that was part of the nostalgia for me, or just part of the hype for me is like, oh shit, like I've been in the Alamo Dome, like I sat there and like, you know, just seeing how the whole like arena was crafted and everything. So that was one of the reasons I played with the Spurs. And then of course I had to play with my Rockets. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And this was the first season that they changed over to the new logo and the new court and shit. So the court looked cool as hell. Where the 3-point line area was like painted in blue and red and shit and had like the stars and shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like I was gonna play with them regardless, not only because they were good, but because their court looked dope as hell. Them and I did play with the Lakers a little bit, like every now and then, because I was a big Nick Van Exel fan at the time, like as I mentioned. And then the Hornets. The Hornets had a cool ass court.
Oh too. Yeah.
They had a dope court. And then they had some good players and shit too. So this is, you know, one of those early games with no Michael Jordan, no Charles Barkley and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you could go and you could unlock them. And I didn't know this shit at the time. It kind of pisses me off. Because I was new to gaming and shit. So you could unlock Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Wilt Chamberlain, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, Bill Bradley, of all people. Remember Bill Bradley?
What the hell?
Yeah.
Wow.
Bill Walton, too. Yeah. And you can do all this shit through Creative Player. Just unlock all these players. Like, all you had to do is just type in their name and shit.
No, I didn't know that. I always thought Michael Jordan was just that random bald-headed dude, number 99.
Player 99, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought, too. But, yeah, that was just so odd to me at the time. I was like, damn, man, this shit don't even have MJ or whatever. So that was wild. And what else? Another
this is when you could start doing a create player. Like this is when they first started doing creative player.
First started doing creative player and shit, which was like one of the huge like selling points of the game and shit.
Yeah.
Also, Rodman had the rainbow hair, which is cool too.
Yeah.
So it's like another part of the PlayStation allure or whatever is just the great ass graphics, where just the attention to detail and shit. And I remember the players just looking like, going back, I should say, the players just looking real like clunky or whatever. Like the players look too big for the court or whatever, but it was still like just a great game graphics wise at the time and shit. And like I
think there was only like one camera view. You could only look from the side, right?
No, they had two camera views, and I remember I only used the one from the side. Yeah. But when I was looking the shit up, they did have two camera views, and that's what like they advertised. That was another one of the big selling points.
It was from the side and then kind of like at the angle? Or was
at the angle, yeah.
Right? Because it wasn't like
at the angle.
It wasn't like the 2K view yet.
They didn't have the baseline 2K view yet. Yeah. And so like that was a big thing. It was like, oh, you could play the game from a different angle and shit. So
play calling. They had play calling that bit.
Yeah. You can set up your plays and shit and come through and run some shit. Yeah, like the quick plays and shit. Like it made the shit realistic, bro. It wasn't like fucking NBA Jam, dog, which was like, I mean, NBA Jam was dope, of course, but like this shit was realistic. Like you were playing like real basketball, dog.
I remember it was either 95, because 95 was the first one. Live 95,
right,
I remember just because it rhymed, and that was the first one. And then I think this is the one where they like introduced like signature moves. So like Jordan had that little reverse, and then like I think Shaq had like a tip dunk or some shit like that.
Yeah,
and I think they had their own moves.
Yeah, and they could do the 360 dunks. That's what I was about to get into. I remember like
Sean Kemp used to fucking fly and do his little like, Rain Man dunk.
Yeah. I remember those 360 whenever they did a 360, dog, like that shit would get you so hyped, bro. Like, oh shit, he just did a fucking 360. And it was just like they're literally going down the court, jumped in the air, spun in the air, and then came down and slammed it. It was so dope.
This is when they started doing tip dunks and alley-oops. Like you were able to like to actually do some shit.
You could do alley-oops and shit, And then whenever you shoot the three, you heard the 3, like the crowd cheering. You can hear the crowd cheer, and then the announcers say it like just out of nowhere because like the announcer wasn't on any other part of the game. Like they didn't have them like announcing like, oh, and such and such takes the pass or whatever and shoots the ball or whatever.
There was no music. It was just the ball bouncing, right? And
it was just the ball bouncing in the crowd. Yeah. Like you heard like the whatever the crowd cheering and shit. And then all of us out of nowhere you hear 3, and then they hit the 3 and shit. You know what I'm saying? Every time you shot a 3.
That shit would go hard, dude. I remember that shit.
Yeah, man. So this is just one of my favorites, dog. I mean, you know, like I said, this has been one of my favorite episodes, you know, to study and go back and look up and shit, man. It was so fun. So yeah, that's mine, man. That's my second one, NBA Live 96, dog.
It's amazing how like now it is like fucking, you know, from then we're like, oh shit, look at that spin move. Like I was looking at the cover of it, like I was telling you earlier.
Yeah. And
it's like, oh, look at Gary Payton with the crossover, and it just shows him facing one way. And it's just facing the other way.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
funny,
man.
Hell yeah. So yeah, man, Woodies, that's what we got for y'all this week, man. Unfortunately, we've come to it's that time. I don't know what to say. It's that time. It's closing time, ladies and gentlemen. It's closing time.
Closing time. One last shot of liquid crack, your fix is coming to an end. Closing time. Say goodbye to Dizzle, stacks and money because we're out this big.
So get your shots ready. Take y'all shots with us, man. Money B, you got anything before we get out of here?
Sweet Shirt Saturday, man. Season 1.
Season 1.
Discount. What is it? 15%.
15%.
Yeah, there's some good ones in there, man. They're going away. You know, we're reloading for the new season. Season 2's coming out. Got some good shit on there. More shit in the works. But yeah, get on the SSStees.com. Do 15% off on some dope tees.
Yeah.
So keep your Saturdays fresh, man.
Yeah. For sure. Season 1, get them while you can, because by the time y'all hear this, you're only going to have a couple more days to be able
couple more days, right?
To grab some of those tees. Yeah, get them
while some of the highlights. What's the highlights?
What was that?
Some of the highlights of season 1 on there. What do we got?
You got the Nasty tee.
Nasty. The Top Notch Girls.
Yep. You got the Eastside Motel.
Eastside Motel. The South Central Beach Cruiser Rentals. One of the OGs.
I need to get that one, as a matter of fact.
That's my favorite. You know, not only the first one, but like the design, the colors on that, and the details. Like if you're in the details, you gotta just look at that shirt. Like, oh damn, they're so good, man. They're so sweet.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah. So yeah, y'all go cop that shirt. Yeah, just me from my end. Yeah, man. Justice for Elijah McClain, and justice for Sandra Bland. Yeah, if y'all aren't familiar with their stories, go and Google those names. Elijah McClain was killed at the hands of police last year in Colorado, I believe. I believe it was Colorado.
I believe so. I believe so.
And Sandra Bland here in Texas. That was a few years back. And
right up the road, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those stories are heartbreaking, man. Y'all go check that shit out. Go look them up. And there's all kind of petitions and shit you can sign. We can try and, put some pressure on these politicians and everything in cities and everything to reopen these cases, to try and bring some justice to these families and everything. Those two names right there. Elijah McClain, Sandra Bland. Other than that, that's all I got, man. We should have a new Whose Bar Is It Anyway episode coming out next week. Be on the lookout for that. Y'all go check out Let Me Tell You Why You're Wrong podcast. And I'm producing a new podcast coming up this week called Chocolate Covered Frog Legs. Okay. Yeah, y'all go check that out. I'll post it on my page on my personal Instagram. We'll post it on the Way Back When Instagram as well. Y'all go check that out. A couple of the homies just talking about pop culture shit, music. Movies,
the name of the Limp Bizkit album, Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water.
Yeah.
I listened to them boys the other day, and I was like, I wanted to call you and tell you like this.
Oh, speaking of other podcasts, just give another podcast shout out. They started the Entourage podcast.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I've been listening to that shit too. That's a good ass podcast. Let's get on out of here, dog. Let's get this shot ready. What you want?
Jack Daniels. Good old American classic.
All right, you know what? I like that. I'm gonna go with Jimothy Bean.
There you go. They're brothers, I think.
Yeah.
They're stepbrothers. You got a devil's cut?
No, no devil's cut. No devil's cut, dog. No devil's cut. I'm still scoring from that devil's cut. Last time I had that guy. All right, my friend. There we go. Here's to you. Here's to the Way Back When podcast. Here's to our Wody. Wody, thank you. Thank you. We appreciate y'all. All right. Y'all have tuned in to the Way Back When podcast, a reflection upon the golden era, our golden era. We'll holler at y'all next week. Deuces.
Peace.
I know who I want to take me back. I know who I want to take me back. I know who I want to take me back, way back when. I know who I want to take me back. I know who I want to take me back. I know who I want to take me back.